What's good, y'all? We are back with another draft recap. Today we have a little special one, the Super Bowl champs. Today we have the Chiefs draft recap. So the Chiefs made life on me a little easier. I didn't have to scout that many players. They only drafted 6 players, and we're gonna jump into it. Start with the first round pick. Some people call him the steal of the draft. I really feel like that was a steal in the first round, because I feel like nobody really saw that coming, and now it's just such a good fit. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU, I forgot who I heard say it, but they said a good comparison will be Maurice Jones-Drew. But I feel like he's a good combination of Maurice Jones-Drew mixed with Darren Sproles. In my opinion, I feel like Darren Sproles and Maurice Jones-Drew are faster than him, but the similarities that he has is he runs pretty hard, you know, like Maurice Jones-Drew did. Pretty solid. He weighs about 200 pounds, you know, for him to be a shorter back. And he lines up at receiver a lot, runs pretty solid, crisp routes coming out the backfield. So he plays a really big role in the receiving game. And I feel like that's a good replacement for Kareem Hunt, because I mean, as good as Damian Williams was, you know, his biggest game was the Super Bowl. Clyde definitely, I feel like it brings back, you know, little Kareem Hunt vibes. He's not a burner. I think we all know that, at least, you know, if you watch Clyde. He's not a burner, but he can move, bro. He's fast. He's not a burner, but he's fast. Real shifty, real elusive, good at breaking tackles, solid at picking up blitzes. Like I said, he's 200 pounds, so, you know, he has some size on him for his height. He has some pretty good size on him. I just see him fitting this offense so well, just because how much of a role he played in the receiving game. Even if he wasn't getting the ball all the time, I saw him line out wide so much. Like it seems so normal. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this all just plays out. In the second round, we got Willie Gay Jr. from Mississippi State. Is this William Gay, the cornerback from the Steelers? Is this his son? Because if that is, that's crazy. He's listed as 6'1". I don't know, some games where I watch and I'm like, bro, he looks a lot bigger than 6'1". But he's your modern day speed linebacker. But he ran a 4.4 at the combine. These linebackers these days is just insane, bro. Gives you some big hits here and there. Solid tackler. Takes really good pursuit angles. He comes off as a pretty solid IQ. I'm not gonna say just high IQ football player. We come off a pretty solid IQ. Like, he has really good awareness of, you know, what's going on. I think he's pretty smart. I've seen him line up at every linebacker position. I don't know if they ran a 3-4 there. It looked like they ran a 3-4, but I saw him line up outside, right outside, left inside, right inside. I forgot who they were playing, but he did it. He lined up at all of them in one game, and I'm like, wow, bro, this dude is he versatile, and that's why it comes off to me as he has a pretty solid IQ. Solid at rushing the passer, solid at breaking off blocks. Like I said, he's 6'1", so he's not the biggest linebacker, but he's pretty smart, you know, when it comes to engaging blockers. He won't just go full head on. Sometimes he does, depending on, you know, if it's a tight end or a fullback. When it comes to linemen, I feel like he plays it smart. He'll engage and not get caught up with the lineman. He'll either spin off, or he tries to break off pretty quickly. And I feel like he does a decent job, you know, contributing in the run game. I don't know if this is the day one starter, but this is definitely a contributing player, and down the road will be starting for sure. Next, we got in the third round, Niang. I hope I said that right. For a big man, he got some mobility. He can move. I like the pick. Solid right tackle. I haven't checked who their right tackle was, but I mean, he looks like a future starter when I was watching him. It was a game versus Texas where I saw he allowed a couple pressures. The rusher was pretty fast, and he got past him a couple times and kind of gave him a little bit of work, but he didn't allow a sack, so that's the plus part. But he almost did. It's real tough to get out his grasp. He, like, once he has a clear shot, he has a real good hold on defenders. Solid versus the pass, solid versus the run. In my opinion, solid overall. I watched him versus Ohio State, where he was playing Joey Bosa and Chase Young, and bro, he held his own pretty well. Like, he did. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't a perfect game, but he did pretty good going against Chase Young and Joey Bosa. Two, in my opinion, Nick Bosa. But two, in my opinion, Nick, the way his career is looking right now, future Hall of Famer. We could say it. We could say it right now. The way his career is looking, if he continues to go in this trajectory, future Hall of Famer, and chase generational talent, possible, you know, future Hall of Famer. And he held his own pretty nice, bro. He did a really good job. The offense that he played in, they had a speed receiver and a mobile quarterback with a nice arm. So I feel like he's gonna have some familiarity with that. So they had Jalen Reagor. I can't remember who the quarterback was, but it's just the scheme, you know, it felt real similar to how the Chiefs play. Next, in the 4th round, we got Sneed from Louisiana Tech. This was a nice pick. I didn't know much about him. It was kind of hard to find film on him, honestly, because Louisiana Tech, you know, wasn't just a primetime school. But from what I did watch, he was pretty solid. He runs a 4.37. So I see a trend. They trying to match their speed on defense with their speed on offense, because they just drafted a linebacker who runs a 4.4 and a safety that runs a 4.3. He did play cornerback, so he has experience there. I think that adds a lot of versatility. But despite that, he plays really well in the run game. He was really physical, solid tackler, comes up, make big hits if necessary. He doesn't play like a former corner. Like, I feel like that aggressiveness and physicality, you know, you wouldn't see from a, you know, your average former corner going to safety. But it looks like he made the transition well, and to add that speed, 4.3 on the defense, that's pretty nice. I don't see him starting. I definitely see him contributing on special teams. I think they like what they have with Juan Thornhill and Daniel Sorensen and Tyrann Mathieu. He can definitely contribute, and in case somebody gets injured again this year, you know, then hey, you plug him in, man. Hey, it's gonna be a sight to see. I'm looking forward to it. Now from here, like, there's a lot of their players I just couldn't find that much film on them. But we got Michael Danna from Michigan. Seems like a really solid pick. I gotta review their D-line. I apologize, you know, I ain't with the I come prepared. But y'all let me know if y'all think he's a starter. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all the other players. But just watching him on film, bro, he has a solid bull rush. Comes off, you know, as a real strengthy defensive lineman, but he has real good speed too. I'm not gonna lie. He can do better, in my opinion, with breaking off block sheds. When he's rushing outside, I think for the most part he does pretty well. I saw him line up inside sometimes, and sometimes he had a good rush, and sometimes it didn't really look like, you know, I couldn't tell if he's, I don't know, but I think he can do a little better as far as breaking off blocks and his block shedding. But overall, I think that was a solid pick. He comes off as a speed rusher, but he has some strength to him. You know, he got a little power there too. So I think that was a nice pick. Last, in the 7th round, they picked Darius Keys from Tulane. I like this pick. Just off of, you know, another player I could not find that much film on. He came off as pretty fast. He looked pretty fast. Tall, lengthy corner. Good at attacking the ball in the air. Like, he looked like he had some real good athleticism. I don't know about him starting either, but I see him adding depth, and hopefully, you know, maybe down the road. But it was a solid pick. They could definitely use help in that secondary, some depth in that secondary for sure. Super Bowl team just adding to the, you know, adding fuel to the fire. But that was my draft recap for the Kansas City Chiefs. I see Clyde, probably possible starter day 1. Willie, possible starter day 1. Lucas, possible starter day 1. So with their first 3 picks, they hit gold. L'Jarius, huge pickup. Mike, solid pickup. I feel like he'll be a backup, more special teams for right now. And Ficarius, the same thing. They had a solid draft. Like, to add on from what they just had last year, and they re-signed a lot of players. I don't know what happened with Chris Jones. I can't remember if he got tagged or not, but we'll see. But appreciate y'all for watching. Comment your thoughts below. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned and stay blessed.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Yeah. Hey, Hall. Man amongst boys. I walk with the Lord. Gotta be careful what you say, because your tongue is a sword. Why you speaking what I think, and ain't no easy.